What's up, guys? Just wanted to make a new video for the week. As you guys might have noticed, I really haven't made that many videos in the last week or so. Two reasons. One, I just really didn't have much I wanted to go over. I feel like a lot of my videos cover exactly like how I trade, so I only want to do that, when there's really something to learn. Two, I have been freaking tired. Just honest truth, I've been exhausted, mentally just shot. With the shop opening up in May, I've been working every day. I stopped trading. I wake up at 5, around there, work out. Now, go to the gym, get to this trading chair, trade till 10:30, go to the shop for 11, be there till 7. I've kind of done that every day. And then the weekends, I kind of only am just catching up on my errands and stuff that I couldn't do during the week. So I really haven't had that chance to reset. So on Thursday, I hit up Alex and I said, man, I'm just tired. I'm really exhausted. I think I got to take Thursday off. He hits me back and he says, bro, doctor's orders from him, take Friday off, take the weekend off, come back on Monday. So that's what I did, right? And so what I kind of wanted to talk about in this video is how important it is to recognize that you need that. And Alex always is famous for saying, you don't really take that time off until it's too late. So I want to kind of talk about ways you can, reassess yourself and make sure you're still mentally there and you're still kind of giving it your all and all that. So one thing I noticed about myself, what led me to believe I was just mentally shot, was I'm a very competitive person, in a good way, a healthy competition, and I feel like a healthy competition with the guys I trade with in MIC, right? Alex is somewhat of a mentor to me, so when I see him posting big P&Ls, it gives me that competitive drive to be better, right? When I see him still working on his trading, even after his success, it makes me want to be better. Same with Tom, Harry, Bear, Bao, Tosh, Joe, all these guys I trade with day in, day out. Seeing them put in the work every day drives me to be better. But the past 3 weeks, I've been consistently making about $1,000 a day, and I found myself getting very comfortable with that, almost too comfortable, where I was just accepting it, just saying, okay, that's good. Whereas I just didn't have that edge anymore of wow, I might have made 1,000, but this guy made 2,000. I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong, how I can get better. And I realized that I didn't have that. So I had to assess, did I just lose that drive? The answer is obviously no. It's just I'm tired. You're just straight up tired. Your brain is fried. And when your brain is fried, eventually it'll catch up to you and you will take the mother of all losses. You'll just take a stupid loss, or you'll just grind away at mental capital that is not worth losing. So something to remember is that sometimes when you're just hitting a wall as well, sometimes when you're just not getting something or you're struggling a bit, it really doesn't hurt to just take a day off. If you just take a day off, you'd be amazed at what it can do. I took 2 days off, really. I traded UMRX on Friday, but very small size days, 2,000 shares max, and I just got a good entry, held, and just relaxed. There was no stress, wasn't really thinking about it, would not touch me or whatever it was. So I think that's key. I think that's going to be really big for you guys, especially as new guys. If you're struggling, if you're still kind of break even, just because you're not trading doesn't mean you have to take the day off completely either. You can go back and look at your stuff, which is kind of what I did. I wanted to not trade, have no pressure to make money, not think about it. Alex put in perspective that extra $2,000 isn't going to change my life. So what I did over the weekend was I went back and analyzed my trades, and I've been lucky that lately I've really been trading well. Haven't had many red days in a long time, but I wanted to analyze what could boost my P&Ls to be bigger. So I'll get into that as well. But I'm still staying on the mental capacity thing. It doesn't hurt. Every couple weeks, take a day. The market's going to be here every day. It's never going anywhere. But your family and stuff, I spent some time with my family over the weekend, and you would just be amazed at how it feels, right? So kind of my challenge to everybody here, if you find yourself kind of hitting a wall, you're getting frustrated, struggling with understanding a concept, take a day away from trading, take 2 days away, go be with family, go enjoy the life outside of this, and come back, and I guarantee you'll be hit with a new perspective. So kind of my new perspective this week is my trading, and it kind of hit me with UMRX actually, because of the way I traded it. So one thing I wanted to talk about is like, so consistently lately I've been making pretty good money, but the thing is I know I can be making more, and what's causing me to not make as much as I should is I've been a little impatient on my entries, meaning I've just been a little early, right? A lot. I've just been a little early. So the problem is, guys, when you're a little early, even if you're you're sizing okay or whatever, if you're early, you're mental for a lot of traders, you're going to be faster to take profits because your average is going to be worse, and you're going to be less likely to let the trade develop, if you get a little slippage. So I got about I'm not even kidding, must have been 40 DMs about this one particular trade that I want to go over. So on UMRX, let me actually pull this over here. So I'll show you my trade. Okay. Actually, let me do this first. All I did all morning was I drew my lines. So let me just draw these ones. 1 second. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. So I kind of had my support in there, just from that little candle. Figured that was kind of the bounce off to this breakout level right here. So pre-market, all I did was wait for the top and then shorted the bounce. I don't short in pre-market unless I have a set risk. So I had this 425 level, and I pretty much said, all right, I'm going to short that, risking 5 cents. So I'm risking $100 on 2,000 shares. Or I guess on this one I think I did 1,000 and then added to a winner. So I was only risking, nothing, $50. It was just nothing. So I was risking small, covered into VWAP a little bit because obviously at VWAP you're always going to get that support. So I always like to take off at least 1/4 there and then just cover the rest into that line that I had drawn for support down here in the 380s. So this was now the trade that I wanted to focus big on because it was the broken chart of the morning, right? So in the past, what I've been doing is, let's say I have a line here, right, 360. My thing is I've been getting in at like 355, 357, right? When in reality, I need to be waiting for closer to my line, which is, this line was 365. I shouldn't be getting in 10 cents before even a starter. I think I should just be waiting more for my spots, because the problem is it's always easier to get in earlier, but it's not easier when the stock pushes a little bit and you need to have some slippage to like be okay with, and you got in too early, so now you're like bigger than you want to be and you're not really adding to a winner, you're kind of scaling to a loser. So basically all I did in the morning was I said, okay, 365 is my line. I'm going to put an order at 360 because I technically don't want it to break that high either, to kind of maintain this trend. So all I did was put 2,000 shares at 360, risking a break of 365. Hit my orders and then just covered into this support right here. You can see that line right in there. I'll make it clear for you guys. Right in there, 340. So that was it. So now, going into the morning, I had this confidence because I was up pretty good in the morning. Even on small size at this point, I already was up pretty good. So now, I had these two lines to short into. The chart's broken, right? So need to get up here and wait for that. So here's my thing. I like having both VWAPs up. But what a lot of people struggle with is if it breaks this VWAP, how to identify like where to scale to. So no matter what, guys, like you have to have your, like I call them your A+ lines, right? So that means if it gets to that line, that's where your size is going to be. Anything before that is tiny. So let's say, like I said, I was using 2,000 shares max. My first order, if I'm hitting this line, let's say, which is just this 350, like in here, my first order, I think let me see what I hit. I hit 347 because I was hitting kind of this VWAP. So I was a little early. So, but that order was only 500. My ideal line was actually around this 365, right in here. So I had a 347 and then a I think 57, right around there, because I figured I don't want to see it break VWAP in here. So I had my bigger orders up here, and boom. So what that did was it allowed me to get my average to about 360, like right real close into here, and have that wiggle room, right? Because you don't want to be so big that you're freaking out that a little slippage is going to kill you, right? Because you think everyone's going to stop at VWAP, or if you just stop out, how many times do you stop out with breaks VWAP and it just dies? So you need to allow yourself to size appropriately. And even this one, I think I just got in a little too early. Same thing on the bounce. I started shorting back when I should have been waiting for this line right here. So my kind of goal going into this week is going to be, okay, if I have my lines drawn, I've got to get better with putting some fantasy orders out there. I'm going to be reactive when the stock looks weak or it looks like it's not going to push. But in the meantime, if those are my lines, I need to put orders there so I'm not getting in too early. I'm introducing to myself a FOMO size, which is if I'm using, let's say tomorrow I came off a few days, so I'm going to be using 3,000 shares max. My FOMO size will be 500 on a broken stock, right? On a broken stock, on a bounce, if I feel the itch to get in, I'm going to short 500 shares because 500 shares in the scheme of 3,000 shares is nothing, right? Because when I actually get in my full size, that's where my average is going to be. So like for example, on this, let's say I felt this FOMO entry down here at 340. It really wouldn't have mattered because if I had 3,000 shares, this is a broken stock. This is not front side anymore to me. I'm shorting 500 shares here, but guess what? 2,500 shares up in my main lines. So my average, no matter what, is going to be up here. This gets forgotten. I mean, it's not going to be, perfect, but guess what? I have that FOMO size. I'll see how it works tomorrow, and if I like it, I might even make my FOMO size 250 shares, just because that first bullet, usually I'm early, but the rest of my entries have been spot on. And I've been working on my exits so much that I think my entries took a little bit of a hit. So that's going to be my challenge going into the week, is just introducing this FOMO size. Fuck it, I'm going to start with 250 shares tomorrow. Small size down at your that feeling when you're like, shit, I'm going to miss. That's going to be 250 shares for me, because I know when it goes higher, I'm going to add. And like, look at how silly this would have been if you stopped out, over here because you sized in too big down here and you stopped out on this push, right? Like, because there's two lines here. When people ask me all the time, like, how do you know when to stop out over VWAP? It all depends on the distance of the line. 355 to 373, this line was, like 370, let's call it. No, it's actually like 372, okay? So that's why I'm not going to be in full size, because I know there's a line coming up again. So I stop out when the line's too far away, right? Guys, people always ask, how do you know when to stop out? All stopping out is just knowing, we get to 9:30, is just seeing how far away the next stop out is. Like, if you see the next stop is like a break of, I don't know, this line right here, can you size to withstand that? It's like 375 right there. Can you size to withstand that? Can you save bullets just in case it gets up to that line? If you can't, then you have to stop out over VWAP. If you're in your big max size here, guess what? It's not worth the risk. A 20-cent little slippage. I like to size no matter what based on the line. If, like I said in my last video, if the line's 25 cents away, then I'm going to size accordingly to like what I'm okay to lose on that. If the line's 25 cents away from VWAP, I'm stopping out when it breaks VWAP and holds. If the line's only 15 cents away or 10 cents away, I'm going to let it break and see how it reacts. Because, again, I would much rather stay sized accordingly to the distance of the lines, and that's going to define my risk. So I think that's a good challenge for everybody. I'm helping a best friend get into trading. He's going to be joining MIC soon. First week over PDT was yesterday, so his first full week is this week. So I've just been reiterating to him a lot of these basic concepts and stuff, and it's like getting into my head that if I'm teaching a new guy how to trade, the key is just waiting for your spots, right? Because think about also this. If you get in down low, let's say your average is right here, 350, when really your average should have been 360s, okay? This thing tanks, okay, yeah, you made your 12 cents. You could have made 22 cents, plus had the actual patience, because now you have a great average. You don't have to stress about every little tick, and you could have let this thing really play out, right? Which is kind of where I messed up. So that's my challenge for the week. I hope you guys kind of do something similar, because I think a lot of people struggle with entries, and I think this might be able to help a lot of people. So let me know how it goes, and I'm here 24/7 if you need help. Thanks, guys.